we want as a department coaches that are prioritizing an opportunity to come to ASU.
Arizona State isn't just playing catch up in the Big 12.
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of re-imaging college sports for the university. Under this new American University model, athletes are no longer just about the revenue. They're part of ASU's academic and social mission. So from adding the sports to supporting every athlete, it's basically a full-on reboot of how a major program fits into a public university. So we are talking about this new American University model, which they feel, that being Arizona State, is the future of college athletics. And it is essentially a program that everything is all under one umbrella. The athletic department isn't separate from the education department to the chemistry and everything else. It's all under one. And I think the question that we have is, can this program help, or will it hurt them in this NIL era?
I don't think it would hurt. As I referenced in the last segment, I think it's a terrific concept. I'm just not sure exactly how you can implement it for each and every student that transfers, that comes in, say, out of the portal. That's the important part right there.
I understand that, but what I think they're doing is it's an open access model, essentially. So it gives them this huge, massive student-based database, so to speak. So if I'm XYZ company, I'm Verizon, I'm AT&T, and I want to tap into a university, I can write one fat check to Arizona State, and it would help them. It would tap into the entire student base, not student athlete base, but all of the students. So if they have 60,000, 70,000 students there, AT&T just got all of them to be able to ding and see if they can set them up for service.
As I said,
or whatever.
Right. I said before, I like the idea.
It's a great branding opportunity for a sponsor. That's where the money comes in for NIL.
That is where the money comes from, NIL. But my point that I'm making for athletes, and I'll use football because that is the biggest generator of money for the school and for all athletic programs, is that you go out and you get a guy out of the portal and he comes in and he plays from September until December. And then he says, okay, I'm out of here. I can get more money from another school, or I really didn't like my time at ASU. I'm transferring elsewhere. Whatever the reason is, you get that student for 4 or 5 months tops. And here's the other interesting aspect. So now if you're a portal transfer and you come in and you enroll in school and you play, I don't know when grades come out or how often they check to see if you are passing your classes. But back in the day, you didn't get grades until that semester was over. So now you could come in, essentially play football, transfer out, and not even worry about grades anymore, Rock. I don't know how that works because I haven't researched it as far as the academics are concerned. But if you just look at it from that standpoint, if you're a portal person, you get in the portal, you transfer, you come in, you play, you get in the portal again and transfer, and your academic aspect of it.
So the way that works there, Jimmy B, is when you do hop into that portal, even if you make that commitment and transfer to another university, you are still obligated to finish out your academic requirements from that semester. That's why a lot of guys, they'll tell you, I haven't got to spring ball yet, or I haven't got to training yet, because they have to finish out those academic requirements.
Okay, thanks for that. I appreciate that, Connor. Thank you.
I mean, the portal's the portal. Okay?
Yes.
That'll take care of itself.
It will.
It has to, right? But this whole conversation is about the NIL, not the portal.
Yes.
At the end of the day, the NIL is about getting money to the programs, right?
Yes.
So now an advertiser, let's just keep using Verizon or AT&T as an example. They now, instead of writing a check for $1 million to Arizona State for their athletic department, they're now writing a check for the entire student body. They go from 500 athletes to 65,000 students.
Okay.
That's why this innovative model, I think, is huge. Coming from somebody that sells sponsorships for a living.
You do.
And if I can put 60,000 students as part of the package that I get to reach, or I get to sell to a sponsor that they get to reach, and they get the data. It's all about data. People want data. You pay millions of dollars for data. And I think that this program, if it works, and it's going to be tech driven, I'm sure it will. That's Arizona State.
Oh, yeah.
And it'll be entrepreneurial, as I'm sure, as well. I think this approach will help NIL, and ASU could end up being, believe it or not, a powerhouse in NIL because they're selling it this way. They can't rely on their alumni. We know that that's not the case. There's a handful of alumni here at Arizona State that write the checks.
Yeah.
But if they can now sell this thing like they're selling sponsorships and naming rights and things of that sort, it's all about the data. And if they have access to, just think about this. If you're a wireless company and you can tap into a student, a student young, they already have their phone, but you can get them a little early, or you're a bank, a credit union, and you can tap into these students at 16 or 17 years old when they first say they sign on the dotted line, they're going to Arizona State.
Yep.
And then it just goes in order of things that these college kids need. I just think it's huge. If I'm a marketing person for a bank and I can come in and write a big fat check because I have access to 60,000 students, and just think, they come in and new kids come in all the time. That 60,000. So they sign up today on May 12th. Say there's 60,000 students.
Okay.
All right. Well, then there's 10,000 graduate, and then another 10,000 come in.
So
it's always consistently getting you get new leads.
So if it's all tech, it's all over the phone or your iPad or computer driven is what you're saying.
Well, that could be one part of it. I mean, it doesn't have to be.
People aren't going to walk around with flyers and stick them on the windshield of a car.
That's all. No, that's nothing like that. It's every Arizona State has an app, right?
Yes, they
do.
When
it comes to where they eat, where they drink, where they go get their coffee,
right?
And if you have access to that app and you have access to every one of these,
as the sponsorship,
so now that NIL deal is you're not just buying the NIL deal for sports.
Yeah.
You're buying the university. And if you are a big alum, hey, I want to reach not just the sports kids, the student athletes. I want to reach the smart engineering folks or those smart business folks.
Sure.
I don't know. I think there's something here. I think if that's how they are approaching this, and it kind of feels like they
should
are.
Call you, Rock. They should call you.
They know what they're doing. And then you go one step further. You're buying into a major media market.
Agreed.
You're buying into Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
You're not buying into Tucson. No disrespect to the million plus people down here. But Arizona State has always been not pushy. They've always been ahead of the game when it comes to tech forwarding, is branding. So I think this is big too. And then not to mention these businesses are looking for talent, and there's a huge talent pool here at Arizona State with the students. I mean, this is their chance to get in with these students. And I just think it's a great opportunity. I think they have something here.
I think that they have something. And I told you before, I love the concept and I hope that it works. But once again, I will just reference, as far as NIL is concerned, that is where the money has to be in order for ASU to be a competitor and be a top team in the Big 12 conference.
I understand, but I don't think you're listening.
I am listening.
The NIL money now,
yes,
it will come in because they're not selling 500 student athletes.
Right.
They're selling 65,000 students. That is such a big difference to an advertiser.
I get that.
That means money. Then they'll have that NIL money.
But is that advertiser, and I'll ask you this, promotion boy, is the advertising that you are selling just going to be a tech option on their phone?
No, it
or
can be,
what else could
it's
it be?
access. It's data. You know what data is, right?
I got data.
You don't understand what that is. It's not worth even having a conversation with you. You don't understand what it is. Your name, your phone number, your address, your social.
I don't want people to have that.
You have no say in it. This is the students who sign up to go to the university. By them signing up to go to the university, they're going to have the opportunity to give the data to these companies because they're partners and they're writing millions of dollar checks to get that information, to get Jimmy B's information. Granted, you don't want to give it, you're going to get it. Not you. This doesn't apply to you in any shape or form.
I know
this is all incoming students and students that are enrolled at Arizona State.
Look, I find it extremely interesting. I am sold on the idea. I just think that it's going to take some time to see if it really works. I just don't think you can roll it out and then expect people to say, hey, I really like your concept. Where do I buy? I think people are going to see if indeed there is a reaction to it and indeed if it would work for what they are trying to sell.
Just in the short time that NIL has been around at Arizona State, is it safe to say that it sounds as though Arizona State has not done well in bringing in NIL money?
That's more than fair.
To the athletic department.
More than fair.
Now, they launched something like this that has not been launched by any other university, at least that I know of. And here they are now in the Big 12. And it's not just about sports. It's more about a strategic position to basically integrate the athletes with the student body. And all that will then give them the opportunity to then go out and secure big dollars to help fund all this. And this will help the wrestling team. It'll help the swimming. It will help the beach volleyball. I don't know. I think it's something I hope that we can bring, Graham Rossini on and kind of discuss it because this is very innovative. I know ASU fans, you're probably just hearing some of this now, but I think this is something that's actually just brilliant. The more we kind of storyboard it and talk about it, it's the data. it just is. I don't know why you laugh at that, but it is so important for companies to have a one-on-one. If you are a student at Arizona State and I'm Verizon and I'm able to talk to you on your phone, or if you're an AT&T person and now I'm sponsored by ASU from Verizon and I have access to you at AT&T and I say, hey, come over to this side, and I'm going to give you that $100 phone right now for $50. Make the switch. You can't get to those people without general advertising like radio and television and online. But if it's coming from Arizona State, you're probably going to open it up.
So you're saying basically they would try to hit people who are 17 years of age to 23 years of age. Those would be your student factors, roughly.
Yeah, real quick. I know we got to go to break, but if you recall your days in college, when I remember, all right, as a high school person, you had a bank account, but I ended up going away to college, and I had to open up a bank account in Ohio, even though I grew up in South Jersey.
Right.
So I'd open up a Bank One at the time. I didn't have a Bank One where I grew up. So if I'm enrolling at Arizona State to come here from New Jersey, and their preferred bank is Chase, and now you have a Chase bank account, you will sign up for a Chase bank account if it's in front of you. You don't know any better. You're in New Jersey and you're being told through your app or the correspondence.
Hey, sign up for Chase,
And Chase makes how much per person on it? I mean, who knows? But if you could do that over and over and over, it's passive income for them.
I can tell, man, you are fired up.
No, the more you think about it, it's if I'm a bank and, I can jump on something like this or insurance. There's so many things that, Connor and Jack sort of fresh, they're just got out of college.
Right.
But when they were in college, if they were getting emails or texts from the university, These are our preferred companies you should work for if you need this or whatever. You're going to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I would think you would. Why wouldn't you? All right, D-backs Giants tonight in San Francisco. We have our G2G protein game changers, but coming up right now, here's Jax with a Twin Peaks ESPN 620 update.